Today I'm going to talk to you about handling a blip. What I mean by that is when you're trying to change your life, you're doing really well, you're the new skills that you're learning to help you manage your thinking, and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you have a blip and you don't manage it quite so well. Now that's just reality, that's just real life, and that just shows that you're human. So what you need to make sure though is that blip is just a little blip and not a big detour, round the houses, if you like. So what I want to talk to you about today is just recognizing blips for what they are, and um, and just stopping them in their tracks. Make sure that they are just little blips and not full blown a week of despair kind of nonsense. I've had a wee blip over the weekend. All that nonsense with not getting a PB on Saturday, it bothered me more than it should have. Turns out the timing was off, and I got a message later to say that I did have a PB. Woohoo, go me! A whole 8 minutes off my previous personal best. But that's not really the point. It just shows that it's just ridiculous worrying about things like that. But also, my son has gone off to Germany. He is having a whale of a time, staying with a lovely family. But I'm missing him like mad. And yesterday, I took him to get picked up about 7:30 yesterday morning. And yesterday, honestly, I was just moping about the house for the rest of the day. It didn't help that I was having to do accounts with Alan on a Sunday either. But I was moping, and I was very aware that I was moping. Um, but here's the thing: what to do when you're feeling a bit like that is allow yourself a certain period of time to have those feelings, because they're real. We need to feel them. He's my eldest son. He's gone off to a foreign country without me, and for me, that's a really big thing. So it was okay to feel sad and to miss him. He phoned later on in the evening to say, how fab everything was, and he's having a great time, and that really helped. But just, yeah, allow yourself a period of time to have those feelings, to let them happen, to be human, to feel the range of emotions that we're designed to feel, but put a deadline on it, put a stop on it. When I went to my bed last night, I was feeling much better by then, especially having spoken to Lewis. But I knew that when I got up today, there was going to be none of that self-indulgent nonsense. It was going to be get up and own the day. And here I am. I'm a bit late in doing my video today because I've been ironing since about 6 o'clock, 6:30 this morning, because I woke up early and I just wanted to get some stuff done. And for a change, it was housework. Not normally my first port of call, but my ironing pile was annoying me, so that's what I did. So basically, if you're having feelings, you know, that are pretty negative, feeling a bit, sometimes I still feel a bit worthless, um, and my self-esteem takes a little dip, but recognize it for what it is. It's just a little, sometimes it might be a little hormonal thing for us ladies. Sometimes we just have those little times in our month where we just feel a bit rubbish. But recognize that it is hormones, and it's not real, that you are worth what you're worth. We're all invaluable and priceless. So realize that sometimes we have these feelings, but they're not real. They're just our bodies and our biology messing with us. Okay, so get that into your head now. You can stop it. It doesn't have to take you on a negative nosedive. And if you've been in a place of depression for a long time, then you kind of default into that quite easily. So you have to make sure that when you feel that coming, you go, no, not going there, and you make sure you start processing your positives. So all the things that you have done well, make sure that you're writing those down, and giving yourself a pat on the back for it. And sometimes just give yourself a pat on the back, and give yourself a hoo-ah, or whatever, however you would whatever you would say to somebody else who had just achieved something really great, or even just something that was a big deal to them, but maybe in the grand scheme of things is quite small. Think about the way that you would congratulate someone else and use that language with yourself, because all too often We're great at bigging up everybody else in our lives and not so very great at bigging up ourselves. So process your positives, the things that you have done well today and the last week, the last month, whatever. They don't have to be big things. They can be little things like I managed not to lose my cool when the kids were carrying on this morning, or I got up first as soon as my alarm went off instead of snoozing it 10 times. Doesn't have to be big. So that kind of stuff. So make sure that you're processing that, okay? Do your gratitude, whether it's a post on Facebook or just writing it down in your notebook. But just as well, think about what's going on in your head. And if the thoughts that you're having are negative ones, then just stop them in their tracks. Turn it around into something positive, because there's always a flip side. Every coin has two sides, and it's the same with the negative thoughts that we're having. Stop them in their tracks, turn them into a positive, and get on with your day and get on with owning it. So here I am. I had a blip yesterday. I allowed myself to have that blip because I kind of needed to, and that's okay. Today I'm back on it, owning the day, making sure that there's no self-indulgent nonsense going on, and that if any little negative things pop into my head, I'm kicking their arse right back out. So that was my message for today. Blips happen, recognize them for what they are, and just stop them in their tracks. Don't let it start that nosedive. So that's all for today. I'm going to love you and leave you and get on with some more accounts. I've got to go and enter all the figures into the computer now, which is not much fun, but hey ho. So have a great day, and I shall see you tomorrow.